And Amorphati is one thing that I think you mentioned before this episode you want to talk about. So maybe we could kind of go a little bit more into that concept.
Yeah, totally. So, that's an idea I've spent a lot of time thinking about, and this is going back to the hack situation. So, TLDR, I think I first came across it in like a Nietzsche book, but just talking about, right, a rough translation is like the love of fate, right? So, um, if you think about fate being, all that has happened up until this precise moment in time, uh, a logical thinker would say, okay, that has already happened. I can do nothing to control that. So, let's not live my life in a state of regret trying to change that because that's a fool's errand, right? But with like Amor Fati, it kind of takes that actually to a more logical extreme of, all right, I can't control it. So let's not try to change it, but why not actually garner like a visceral love for all that has happened? Um, and try to like take anything like whether good or bad and try to at least perceive it from a lens of positivity and just recognizing like how like the beauty in the fact that that happened and it brought you to this exact moment in time, which there's no other instance of the world that you're in than this exact moment right now.
Nice. So it's like loving the journey, right? It's like knowing that no matter what happens, like it's gonna be fine. Like you'll figure it out afterwards because you've gone this far. And it's just kind of just like loving the journey and, the ups and also the downs sometimes and the lessons that
Yeah,
you kind of get from the downs.
exactly, right. And so having spent a lot of time just like thinking about this, I think that's what enabled me in the hack situation where it happened, right? Brief moment of despair, but then very quickly was like, all right, no, like that happened, you can't change it. So why not like love that you just got hacked? Why not full on embrace it and see what good can come from that? And so like all of a sudden was just kind of like overwhelmed with this like just deep motivation and kind of fire to like, okay, not only make it all back, but no longer leave things on the to-do list where it's like, oh, I'll get to that the next time. It's like, no, screw that. Try to tackle things with like an added energy and intensity to everything I do, whether like work or personal life. Um,
Yeah.
and it just started all becoming very like clear. And so even though, right, as it's all when it's all said and done, the hacker returned all the money, so I'm back in the position I was before, but I still now had the added benefit of
A
viewing
lesson
the
learned.
situation exactly right. So instead of just being like, oh shit, that sucks, and woohoo, it's all back now, I got all my money. It's like now I'm blessed to have had that experience that even before I made it back, I was grateful for, and can now kind of carry that lesson learned, that added intensity and motivation into my life. So
Yeah, that was a very great turnout to that situation. That's definitely a win-win because it's like think about in the future when there's even more capital at risk. Like, after learning this lesson, like you're not gonna make the same mistakes again, probably.
exactly.